People think this is it. Like, this is delay, I want to say, number 3. Officially, I've looked it up earlier today. If you go by official numbers, this is delay number 3. I think there's going to be a delay number 4. I think they're going to delay this game again. I think that the team behind this game, the developers, are going to receive this feedback and go, ooh, shit. We've waited so long to let anyone do anything with it that we now have to receive that feedback and say, are we going to accomplish all of this shit in a few months' time between this most recent delay? Or are we going to have to delay this again to work again on this game and stop fucking with the graphics and get to the nitty-gritty of Q&A testing your fucking game? The actual game itself. Because like I say, I am very much concerned that based on the feedback they're getting, they are going to delay this game again! Again! CD Projekt Red, when it's ready. Well, is it? I don't think so. And you're not even confident enough to say that the footage you're showing is finally. So them saying this game is done, that is fucking. So this is Louis, otherwise known as Negrodamus, Pastor Negrodamus Esquire. I promised not to do another Cyberpunk video outside of the White Pill video.
I lied.
But due to a certain amount of demand from you and my general calm frustration with CD Projekt Red having delayed the game again, and being correct in my prediction that this would occur, not for the exact reason that they're giving, but I have to assume that my predictions were ultimately proven correct in that when they were spending so much of their time offering all sorts of peripheral garbage, shirts, sneakers, jackets. I mean, the list is unending in terms of all the peripheral shit, the merchandise and everything, statuettes and all this. Like, while they're doing all of that, they are not focused on doing the only thing that counts, and that is getting this game out. That is the only thing that counts when you have delayed the game 3 times officially. I used to say 4 times, but I had people giving me, grief about that. So I limited it down to 3 official delays. This is officially delay number 4. This game is still slated to come out this year, but I think you are an idiot if you don't think that there's nothing preventing them from delaying this into next year. And I imagine if they run into more problems, they are going to delay this again. So for those of you that ask, well, Louis, is your frustration and the frustration of thousands of people that are talking about this, is this warranted? Because, I've heard hype channels and I've read articles being like, oh, don't you feel sorry for the developers? No, I don't. And the reason why people's frustrations are warranted is that while CD Projekt Red was routinely reasserting that this game is going to come out in November, that while they were repeatedly saying that this game was going to come out, they must have known that there were problems in terms of getting this game ready to release. That when they say the game is good to go, we've hit gold, everything's set and ready, they were not telling the truth. While CD Projekt Red was asserting repeatedly that the game was set to go, in numerous ways. It wasn't just them saying, okay, the game has gone gold, we're ready to go. It's being questioned over and over and over as to the readiness of the game. Up until the day, okay, less than 24 hours before they delayed the game, they were asserting that the game was ready to go. Not just, okay, this is the release date, but this game is set to go. We are ready to release. The same day, within 24 hours, that is when they announced the delay and said, okay, no, actually, the game isn't ready to go. We have serious optimization problems, and no matter what, there's going to be a day one patch, so we're not ready to go, and we're delaying the game. This has to be one of the most humiliating events in gaming history of the industry. This has to be one of the most humiliating things for a company to suffer from. This is an unmitigated PR disaster for them. And the truth is, it wasn't the next generation of consoles. It is the current generation of consoles that have optimization problems. This is a result of changing the game over the past 2 years, and seriously changing the game in the graphics department. They have radically changed the way the game looks in the last 2 years. And as they were doing that, they were not Q&A testing their game. They were not testing the game for current generation consoles. And as a direct result of their failure to properly optimize the game for the current generation of paperweights, they have to delay the game again, officially. What I don't buy is the rhetoric of the developers saying that they were just blindsided by this. And I'll show you an article from IGN that everyone's just surprised and blindsided and all this. It's not possible that the developers did not know that they had serious optimization problems up until this point. We're a few weeks from what was supposed to be the release date. I don't believe you. I don't. And the problem that I have with this is that this should be not a question of the quality of the game, which I see people engaging in on Twitter and stuff. That's not the problem that you should have with this, because the issue isn't the game itself is broken, it's that it's not optimized. Okay. The issue isn't the quality of the game, it's the fact that these developers keep lying to us about the state of the game. They have never stopped lying about the state of the game. They've been lying for years about the state of the game. And that, to me, is the most frustrating part of all of this. This is something that people should be mentioning and should be raising, not just complaining about, oh, now I have to play, Call of Duty Black Ops or Cold War in November. I'm going to be playing that instead of this, which a lot of these people are going to do because NPC buyers and all that, and I'm not even excluding myself from that because I still haven't decided either way on Call of Duty, surprisingly. Normally it's a hard no, but I've seen gameplay of it, and I'm like, hey, this isn't too bad, but I'll be thinking about that in the second week of November rather than this game because of this delay. To reiterate, people should be questioning CD Projekt Red and their standards as it relates to how much they've been lying over the years about this game and how ready it is. It's ready to rock. We're ready to go. I would meme about work in progress, and then I would get shit for it. But ultimately, I have been proven correct about that time and time again. This is just another time that I've been proven right that this company has been lying this entire time about the state of the game. They keep lying about it. I see people questioning the quality of the game, and it's like, no, that's not the problem you should have. It should be the fact that they've been lying to us repeatedly, provably, over and over and over again. And it's like, I don't see anyone raising that question. Like the channels that I follow that report on CD Projekt Red information, and they break down all the trailers and all that shit, they've all done videos on this. None of them, from what I've seen so far, none of them have talked about the fact that this is another instance where this developer has lied about the game. Outright lied. Within 24 hours of the previous lie. You know, it's like, come on. Come on with this shit. All that was required is just the wiggle room of this is our firm date, this is our expected date. But man, did they just go over the top in reiterating how confident they were in this being the final release date. As I said on Twitter, this is humiliating for them. This is humiliating for them, and I imagine that this is probably going to be one of those things, if it isn't memory hold when the game releases, there's a chance for that. But if it isn't, this will go down in history for the industry as being one of the most schizophrenic releases ever. It has to be. I don't remember a single game, I don't recall a single game, where there have been these many delays with the level of sleight of hand. You know, this level of trying to hide the truth from the public as it relates to this game. Before I move to the next part of this topic, because I have other things I want to talk about, before we move on, though, I'm going to say that when you are months ahead of time releasing peripheral consoles, maybe you should make sure that your game actually works on the console before you release consoles. Okay? When the console's ready and your game isn't ready for the console, maybe you should spend more time making sure the game actually functions on the console. Just a suggestion. Maybe some of you don't really see this as that big of a deal, and I imagine that there's a lot of people that don't follow my channel. They don't see this connection. They don't really make this connection, see this as a big deal. But I have to say that, as I've said in the past, this is one of the most frustrating parts of the game. It's not even the delays. It's all the garbage that they are hawking towards us. They're trying to sell us. And while they're doing all of this, they're not, taking the time that's necessary to make sure this game is done, actually done. And I don't buy it that this is some freak thing. I don't buy that. So I have to think that someone within this company, whether it's the side of it responsible for optimization, Q&A, all the way up to the CEO, like, it's a matter of how many people within the company are involved in this. But somebody has been lying for months. Somebody has been lying for months. Someone knows that they've been lying for months. And this is the kind of thing that I don't understand how no one is getting their head cleaved. There's no firings from this. There's no PR terminations or suspensions or anything from this. When this is a kind of problem that you should know exists months ahead of time. You don't run into this kind of mistake. So that is my question. How are there no firings as a result of this? This is the kind of day one, by the way, the CEO is stepping down, or this person from this department, the head of this department's been fired. The fact that there's none of that is astounding to me. This isn't them putting out bullshit and false advertising as it was in the past where no one lost their job. They just did another trailer where it was more false advertising, by the way. Just in case anyone's curious. They did it again. It's the fact that you know this game is not ready to release, and you've been lying about it for months. Somebody has. It's just a matter of who and to what degree. I'm not saying that it is the CEO. Maybe this fucking douchebag didn't know. But the fact is, for months, somebody within this company has been lying to him because he's been running around, not just to the press, but in conference calls with investors, lying about the state of the game. Whether it's knowing or not is the question. And so, how is no one being fired from this? How? It's not just that you're delaying the game, it's that you've been lying about the state of the game. Okay, I know I'm repeating myself, but to me, it is, like, mind-boggling how it's just like, yeah, we're sorry, guys, we're going to send out some conciliatory tweets and shit. It's like, bro, this is substantially more serious than just you delaying this game again. It's substantially more serious than that. Anyways, I'll move on from that. The second portion of this that I want to speak to is the fact that I was also proven right, and this wasn't worthy of a video, but I was proven right that you can choose your pronouns in this game. I know that this is kind of maybe out of left field, but I wanted to mention this because it's not worthy of a video in its own right. But in a video for their styles in the game, which is something that I genuinely enjoy about the game, I anticipate it, I like it, they inadvertently acknowledged that within the newly redesigned character creator within the game, and this is again just a couple months ago, it looked different. But here we are again, where we got the new character creator, and you can choose your pronouns in the game. And so I was right, and I don't even know how long ago, what video. Maybe Genderpunk 5 is where I said it. I don't even remember, but that's where I, yelled about that fact and made a big deal about that fact. I've mentioned it a few times in these videos because, to me, it is just a big example of what is wrong with the game. Like, the lack of ability for them to discern what is important to the player, to their audience. Gotta tell you that being able to play a chick with a dick is a little bit less important than you having to delay your game officially 4 times and having the embarrassment of this being one of the worst releases in the industry's history. It has to be. To some of you, that might sound hyperbolic, but I'm telling you, I don't think I am being hyperbolic when I say this is one of the worst releases in the history of gaming, where you keep having to delay your game, you've been lying about it all along, and you are just playing so fast and loose with this, where you risked releasing a potentially unplayable game on current-gen consoles. But I guess I'll just leave it there. I mean, it's a smaller thing, and I guess there's just not enough people that care to where it matters. But I just thought I would mention that again, that there is no denial anymore. That you have some Tumblr-level shit beyond that of anything BioWare's done. That's what I've said in the past. That is factual about this game. And it is embarrassing. I'm not going to, find a clip of Mike from Red Letter Media to say it, but this is embarrassing. And it says that you have an inability to discern what matters to players. While you're doing this, and you're out there like a fucking street salesman with one of those, you got a table, a fold-out table. You're out on the street in New York City hawking shit for all of these peripherals. I'm sure I could find a list of the peripherals on Reddit that is like celebratory of like, hey, are you a fucking idiot collector that wants to piss away your money on this game? Well, here's the 1,001 things that you can buy that are like $500 each for this game. All the jackets and the shoes and all the shit that has come out. It has been unbelievable, the amount of shit that has come out for this game. You know, you having these fucking cosplayers, and they included this in the last Nightline, PR thing. They included this long sequence about fucking cosplayers, and I swear to God, I didn't even watch it. I watched a few seconds of it. I watched them post some nonsense on Twitter about it. I didn't watch it at all because it would have pissed me off. It would have pissed me off to no end, because people like that, the cosplayers, are even worse than the hype channels, okay? The cosplayers are worse than the journals. They are worse than the hype channels because they don't even give a fuck about this game. Because the cosplayers, they seek out games that have certain designs, and they steal those designs. They recreate those designs to the best of their ability, and then that's their whole deal. They're not gamers. They don't give a fuck about the industry, about these games, about anything. It's just, I find designs that are not mine. I try to replicate them because I am a professional seamstress or a makeup artist. I take your designs, I recreate them, I put them out there, and then I basically, as a parasite, attach myself to this industry. And I allow this industry to take its focus wholly away from the people that are actually going to pay for our lights to be on, and I put it on something that acquires us nothing. I've complained about cosplayers in the past. Paradoxically, popular and also hated videos. But this is an unhealthy part of the industry that I can't stand. These are professional merch shills. These are professional hype men, and they are so bad that their entire performance and profession requires that they are as limited to being professional seamstresses. That is it. That is it. That is as far as they are going to go with their presence in this industry. And it is purely parasitic. I hate it. I hate it. Your designs and your merch don't mean shit if I can't play your game, because you are so incompetent and so confused as to your priorities that you can't get your fucking game on store shelves in a basis not even timely, but just to a degree where it's even ethical. Okay? We have reached the point where you have crossed the boundary of ethical consideration to the point where you have been continuously lying to your customers for years. It's so unbelievable to me. And like I say, this calls into question their priorities. And the problem is, as frustrated as I am with them, I have to say that I'm equally frustrated with the people out there that are going to bitch about this on Twitter and Reddit and all this. Like, they're as unfocused as these developers. They're as confused about their priorities as the developers. Like, the people that are going to criticize this, they fundamentally don't understand what the problem is. You're going to have people that are just going to flat out say, well, I wanted to play the game now or sooner, and it's getting delayed again. I'm frustrated. That's fine. It's the people that are out here apologizing, especially anyone that is apologizing for the developers. I'm sorry, but please go fuck yourself. These people have been out here selling all of this shit, not just in terms of the state of the game, in terms of the shit they're trying to sell us, but all this other garbage that has nothing to do with this game. That is what matters at the end of the day. That is what counts. This game. That is what all of this is about. This game. Yet everyone's out here talking about and dealing with and focusing on everything but the game. I suppose I'm lucky in that one of you, a subscriber of mine, a parishioner of my church, one of you has actually purchased the game for me. I've actually had 2 other offers. Someone sent me the game over GOG. And then since then, I've had 2 other people offer to buy me the game over Subscribestar. I've had people message me, say, bro, I'll buy you the game. There's that too. Like, there's that element of it too, where it's like someone gave me a gift, and it's the gift that keeps giving because I'm never going to fucking get it. I can't receive the gift. You know? That's the best kind of gift, where you're always anticipating actually receiving it. I know that CD Projekt Red is never going to apologize to you about the fact that they've been lying about this all along, so I will instead apologize to you. I'm sorry that you have spent your hard-earned money to give me this game, to gift me this game. I'm sorry that because of the unscrupulous and incompetent behavior of the developers that I am unable to receive your gift. You've given me something, but I have yet to be able to receive it because of these people. You know, the audacity, really, of these people. It is unbelievable. And again, how is no one being fired? How is no one being fired for this? I can't believe it. I honestly cannot believe it. That is the surprising part of this. It's not that I've been proven right, again, about this game, okay? It's the fact that no one has been fired for this. How? How is that even conceivable? Any other company, even EA, somebody would be stepping down. Somebody would be suffering some consequences for this shit. I cannot imagine some other company, some other AAA company that could get away with this to the degree that CD Projekt Red has been continuously getting away with this. This is one of the worst releases in gaming history. For one of the most anticipated games of, you know, this new decade. I don't see anything coming close. And I don't see anything on the horizon that's coming close. This is it. And yet, these fucking Polak idiots can't just, you know, again, deliver it or just be upfront, you know? I'm sure that everyone is more than willing to be considerate in you having to finish this massive product. No one is questioning your eagerness or the depth of the game. No one is questioning those things. But you are not being upfront. You've never been upfront with this game in terms of what's in it and in terms of when it's ready. You have never been upfront with those things. And it is completely unacceptable. It has reached a point where someone should be leaving that fucking studio. We've reached that point. And the fact that it hasn't happened it's an embarrassment. Not just for the delay, but the fact that you're not being adults about this. No other company would accept this. This kind of fucking behavior. No other company would accept this. I hope that this is the last video that I make besides the White Pill video. I hope that this is the last video. Because I don't want to do any more. I have already said this, too. So here I am again repeating myself. I don't want to do any more videos about this other than the White Pill video. But are you getting that today? No. I'm not in the mood to deliver that video. When, here we are again. You know, history has repeated itself again. Obviously, I don't think that this can accompany the criticism of the game itself, the content, the quality itself. But, like I say, there really do need to be some consequences for this. I'm not saying, like, oh, cancel pre-orders, any of that shit. No, I'm not saying that at all. I am saying someone should be stepping down. That's what I want to see happen. I want to see some kind of accountability for this shit. Because this is totally unacceptable in terms of conduct. Anyways, I will leave it there. Thank you for listening. To spend on me. Si quieren me paro, so you just can't.